Hey, welcome to another Reaper blog tutorial. Today I'm going to show you 3 of my most used iPhone apps that help me with music production. The first one is PolyTune by TC Electronic. The second one is Decibel 10th by SkyPaw. And the third one is MetroTimer by ONYX apps. First, let's look at the PolyTune app. This app is a polyphonic guitar tuner, and this came out quite a few years ago. iPhone version of this pedal, and it lets you tune all the strings at once. It gives you a reading of all the strings at once. So I've got my Taylor here. Not very in tune, but let's see how it does with PolyTune. And what's great about this is you can see all the strings at once, or individually. It's very quick to use, and it just works off the internal mic from the iPhone. This is the best tuner that I've ever found for acoustic guitars. There's also a bass mode, and you can change the tuning. Just tap on the E, go to whatever tuning you want, change the pitch, click on the settings button, change the tuning mode to polyphonic or just chromatic. You can display it as a needle or a stream. And you can also change the colors from yellow, blue to red and green. That one works so well. I love it. All right, moving on to the next one. It's called Decibel 10th. There's a free version and a pro version, and I think the pro version just takes away the ads and maybe a couple other features. But you can do everything you need with this one. And what I use this most for is calibrating my monitors or calibrating my listening level, so that when I'm doing a mix or a master, I'm always working at a consistent level, and that helps out a lot for avoiding distortion or keeping a certain amount of headroom in your master. So we're going to switch over to Reaper. We'll see how to set that up. I've got my monitoring effects chain open here, and in the monitoring effects chain, which you can find from the View menu, View Monitoring Effects. Quick aside to what the monitoring effects chain is, I have a video on this already, but this is a effects chain that goes past the master effects chain, the master output, and it's only for your speakers. So anything you do here is not going to affect the recorded file, the rendered file, what you export out of Reaper, but you can do things that will influence what you're hearing. So what I like to do is put in the JS pink noise generator. I'll set it to like -6 and then set my speakers to play so that -6 in the DAW is like 75 dB on this app. All right, so I'll just unbypass this plugin. So in the app, it's about 56 when I'm not talking. I'll turn up my speakers now. And right there is pretty good. So as you can see here, there's a history. There is this graph. I pretty much just follow the meter and the numbers here. There are a lot of different things here, but you pretty much just, the first time you launch the app, it has everything you need. It has that needle that shows you how loud it is at that instant, the max sound pressure level and the average sound pressure level. Something else you can use this app for is for location scouting. So if you're going out with your director to, if you're the sound recordist and you're going out with the director to scout locations, you can use this app to see if that location is ideal for dialogue recording. If it's a really, really loud location, you can actually get the number, see how loud it is, and maybe that will help with the selection of the location. The third app is called MetroTimer, and it is a metronome and a practice timer. Starting in the middle, that number 98, that's the current beats per minute. You can slide it, you can increment it and de-increment it. with the plus and minus buttons there. You can tap tempo, so the play button will start the metronome going. If I'm working with a band and we're doing scratch tracks and just let's say the guitarist plays the riff and he doesn't know the tempo, I can just tap along as he's playing. We instantly get that metronome value. Click on this gear icon. We can choose different sounds. And with the practice timer, we have different minute amounts here. So if we click on 1, it will start the metronome and a countdown for 1 full minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, etc. This is also good for when you're working in Reaper. If you have things that are recorded without a click and you want a idea of what the rough tempo is before you do the final tracks, or when you're setting up your tempo map, you can use this on your phone rather than clicking in Reaper with the mouse. It may be a little easier for you. So there you go. These apps are pretty simple. They are free or cheap. They're highly recommended. I use these all the time. They're some of my favorite apps for helping with my job, music production and engineering and that kind of stuff. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Support the Reaper blog through Patreon and visit reaperblog.net for a lot more tutorials.